Futures trading involves risk and is not suitable for all investors. Content provided in this segment is meant for educational purposes and is not a solicitation to buy or sell commodities.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Tech Talk. I am Cody. He is Andy from Chicago office, the room that Jim Matthews built.
Coming
Andy.
in hot from Jim Matthews' palace. I'm just a guest here.
You're just a guest in
I'm just a guest in Jim Matthews' palace right now.
We're all just a guest in Jim's world at this point, my friend.
We really are. I mean, this is an honor and a privilege to be able to sit here. And especially with somebody that's got a hat like that. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
I'm telling you. Tech Talk Cowboys coming at you hot.
Now, when you do finger pistols, by the way, are you a one?
Oh,
are you
double,
one finger?
Double barrel the whole time. Double barrel. Time. All right. So we got 3 charts today. 3
charts. Ooh, yikes.
Ooh.
While we were talking here, Jan just put in a new low for the day. We just had this bad boy up. 1611 is the last traded price. That's before we started filming.
Yeah. I mean, literally just now.
Yikes. All right. Well, Jan starts pricing next week, and I believe it's a 4-week month. You can learn more about pricing through Basis Loaded. Joe Schmidt. Learn more. I don't know. That doesn't look good. Like today, just now, while we're filming, put in a new contract low, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you went from the end of November at $16.14 up to $17, and then promptly broke that in about 5, 6 trading days.
I mean, it's tough to argue with this big trend that it's got going on, right? I mean, it started at $19, tried to get through it here, right? Looked like we were getting ready to go, and there was a little bit of bidding in the cash market, and yada, yada, yada. Just kidding.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This downtrend is holding really well until it gets broken, and then subsequently has like an open higher the next day. So you started that way, right? Had you gotten like a $17 plus open the next day, you could have traded 17.5. I mean, who knows? Still could happen, right? But holding below this downtrend right now, and then putting in a new low like this. Let's say we get an open lower tomorrow. So if tomorrow's Friday, I mean, you can just continue to keep putting pressure on, especially with the way they keep beating up cash too.
Yeah. I mean, they beat cash up today. I guess the interesting thing is we settled January 16.24.
Okay.
And I mean, like you said, as we were talking, so 3:10 Central Time, I mean, just broke that market from 16.20ish all the way to 16.11.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
See you later.
No good. I feel like people are looking at this market and saying like, this is like a break to buy. And, we're getting to like the lower end of this range that we've been on. And maybe that's true. I mean, when they take the barrel below $1.50, it seems to promptly, pop back up. But
right.
The way this is trading, it certainly isn't acting that way. I guess, I don't know, like, the momentum here, tried to get over zero, couldn't do it. It tried to get something going, with this RSI right here and failed again. So you're not getting any sort of confirmation from any of the secondary stuff. You tried to break out and failed. I think if you're looking to buy that, you need to get a little bit better confirmation, something. I mean, maybe like, just throwing ideas out there. Like if you saw like a hammer type formation, that would be good. That'd be a nice indicator to get long, but I don't know. It just traded the new contract lows right before it starts pricing next week. And so it's not that big of a premium either, right? I mean, I have 15.25 using current cash. So that's
correct.
Add in, I don't know, 5-6 cents. I think it's pretty fair. So it's probably more like a 15.75-ish, 15.80. So at 16.11, 20-30 cent premium. I'd probably be more like 30-40 cent premium, but not that big of a premium, right? So it's probably going to continue to trade, alongside cash.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, it's not as massive as it was last time we talked about it.
Sure.
And there was a good 60-70 cents built into it.
And just looking at it again, just technically like this, if I can just blow this up for a second, you had an attempt to break out, failed. And then the subsequent, action out of the attempt to, I guess, recoup some of that break from buyers, even just from here to here. I mean, we haven't even gone and tested like the 30% retracement if you use this low or the 1/3. So it's this right here, this consolidation after attempting to break out and then a new low. I mean, that's a sign of further weakness. It's tough because now you're going to have to get like some of these lower, you got to take cheese down or get some of these lower like CME prints actually make it into the NDPSR. This one looks, I mean, if you're looking for an opportunity to buy it or reason to buy it, it's not really giving you one. It's not exactly what you want to hear as a dairy farmer from your perspective, right? Like,
not really, especially, I mean, like you said, when we started filming this, we watched it just break another 9-11 cents lower. I mean, just like that was kind of odd to see. But the interesting thing is, it's not just Jan. Like, look at Feb and March, obviously into new lows and just kind of continually pushing themselves lower at this point.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that hat will help out.
We got to get everything we can right now.
I mean, that hat is sweet.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
This chart isn't looking great. Your hat, on the other hand,
Looks great.
I need to get one of those hats. I need to get one of those hats. Is that a 10-gallon hat? What kind of what is that?
I don't know. It's a Stetson hat. I heard those are good. I don't know. New to this cowboy thing, my friend.
You're new to
New to the hat part of it.
I was gonna say, like, all right. So this one, I don't think this one came at request. You want to look at this one?
Yeah.
From the like the guys at Diesel. They're Diesel. What am I talking about? Diesel. I swear.
Every rancher needs diesel for their truck, and that's why we need to look at diesel today.
So what are your thoughts here? Heating oil.
I think, and I was talking about this with somebody yesterday about, January heating oil diesel on the CME. And I said, it looks like we can possibly go down and test that 240 mark that we were at in the beginning of June, July, where we kind of just stagnated ourselves for about 3 months there and then really rallied.
Yeah.
So I think right now a lot of folks are saying, okay, we got harvest that's over. We have things that we need to buy for next year going into spring planting, looking ahead, trying to get some opportunities bought. And diesel has just kind of been a slow trickle down with a few big rallies in that just haven't not been able to sustain themselves.
Yeah. I mean, it's somewhat reminiscent of milk, right?
Right.
I mean, you've got a lot of different, if you want to draw multiple, I feel like you can have multiple trends running here, right? So here, I think is another good one. Either way, you've got 1, 2, 3 new, like new lows, so to speak, right?
Yep.
I agree. I mean, this price right here. It was, this is a great example of like an ascending, I think, triangle, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 new like higher lows bumping up against basically one horizontal line. But it's a great indication potential for volatility, and it certainly panned out. But it's also tells you like it becomes sort of a magnet too once this ends.
I was just gonna say it almost looks like a long-term magnet.
Mm-hmm.
Where we sit there. Maybe it is for a few months, maybe it's not, but it almost looks like that 240, 235 number wants to go get tested yet again.
So ipso facto, you're going to be able to fill your truck up a little cheaper. That's what you're saying.
I mean, at those prices, yeah. And that's the interesting thing is trying to put a basis on top of that of where diesel is delivered, talking to different folks throughout the country. Even if you throw, 40 to 50 cents ish on top of that, you get down there, you're talking 260, 270 diesel, right? Yeah. And it's a big ish, right? Depending on where you are, but hey, fill up those trucks a lot cheaper than you can today.
So you're selling diesel, you're selling heating oil. You think we go to 240 and then probably consolidate, right?
I do. I just looked at it on a monthly chart. Okay, you get down to 220, which we kind of banged those lows out during May, June of this year.
Yeah.
And making I don't know, I guess like a sloppier M formation here.
I see what you're saying. So, boop.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's even lower than what we were looking at, but for sure. I mean, this is that 240. This is that area of consolidation right there.
Yeah.
And to your point, you've got, I mean, this could not be any more clearer. This is quite the lower high, right?
Correct.
I agree. I mean, it looks like it wants to go get in this little range here. So, I don't know. Wait to fill the trucks up.
Give
Might
it
get a
some
little
time.
cheaper. Might get a little cheaper. Who knows? I'll tell you what is rocking and rolling.
Woo.
Absolutely rocking and rolling. Not only is Cody going to be able to fill his truck up cheaper, he's going to retire sooner, courtesy of this is the Dow stocks. I mean, like just this is rocking.
That is looking good.
Look at that thing. We talk about like wealth effect, right?
This is it.
This looks. I don't know what you want to say other than like it's just strong like bull. That's a weekly, right? Yeah. I mean, look at how much it just.
Take a little peek at the monthly real quick while you're.
Little peek ski.
While you're gandering, you're gonna like that one, I think.
Hold please.
Hey,
look at that. That looks phenomenal.
It does.
So, I mean, Christmas comes early here for this one, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know. This is something to be really mindful of. I mean, we talk about like, wealth affect people's ability to spend money, like, discretionary income. And I know dairy is, I think you can call it more of a staple than not. But that said, this looks good. Like, it's tough to argue this chart right here. We can take a quick little look too. So this is the SPO, the S&P, right? This thing, obviously it's going to be a little bit similar, but it hasn't on this monthly broken out into new highs just yet, but it's sure close. I mean, it retraced this attempt to break down pretty handily and then opened higher, right? So we talk about like the close and then the next subsequent open and, price action after the fact, right? It's a clear confirmation of this, rejection here, right? And so it's That looks good too.
Yeah. I guess that's the hard thing, and tell me if I'm wrong, but when we get into new highs like we just looked at, it's hard to, I guess, call a top in a market like that.
Right.
Or
It's
give a direction saying, hey, we're going to go test this area and then come back down. I mean,
sure.
there is.
I guess it's just like I said, it's tough to argue when you have 1, 2, 3 in a row like this. It gets completely, wiped out, and then you have subsequent open, and then now, trading into new highs. This is new highs here. I think this is something we have to be kind of pretty respectful of. And, there was a Fed meeting I think it was the other day, talking about, the potential for rate cuts in 2024. And that's obviously a long time away. We'll see. But I think we want to make sure we brought this one up just because, the wealth effect obviously is something that, it's a larger macroeconomic thing, but it certainly plays its role in, dairy fundamentals, particularly the demand side. So I guess, all things said, Jan milk not looking so hot. Neither is heating oil, which isn't a bad thing. But it looks like your stocks could be pretty good.
More money for Christmas presents for everybody.
More money for Christmas presents. What are you getting me for Christmas, by the way?
It's a surprise. Can't tell you.
It's a surprise. Surprise.
It'll be there. Christmas is what, 2 weeks away?
You have a tree up?
No, I don't.
I like how you had to think about that, by the way. Like, hang on, let me think. Do I have a tree in my house that I
Let me
don't
take a peek. No, do you? You have Christmas lights up? You get into the holiday spirit? Are you a festive human?
Oh yes, right after once Thanksgiving. Like I'm very respectful of Thanksgiving. I don't think Thanksgiving gets enough credit.
I agree.
Because everybody's fired up about Halloween. I love Halloween. Don't get me wrong, but then you have this like interim period before you start putting holiday lights up. But you see people that are like anxiously like putting the Christmas lights up like November 1. I'm like, well, what about Thanksgiving? So day after Thanksgiving though, they went up.
Well,
I think that's all she wrote.
I mean, I think that's going to do it for Andy and I. We appreciate you guys tuning in to yet another episode of the Fantastic Tech Talk. We had nobody call in, write in, want to look at anything. If anyone does for next week, please get a hold of Andy or I. But until then, everyone have a fantastic weekend, even better week. And we'll see you mid next week, actually.
Mid next week. We'll see you mid next week, right before the holidays.
A little earlier.